Yo guys, what's up? My name is Ijaji Prime. Welcome to another Music Versus video where we take albums, EPs, mixtapes and artists and try and pit them together and see which one is actually better. Now today we're talking about Drake. I'm sure Drake doesn't really need much of an introduction. Now Drake is a Toronto rapper and singer. Drake is somewhat of a polarizing figure. You notice that people either love Drake or hate Drake, and that's to be expected. Drake I've been a fan of for about 6-7 years now. I think the first song I heard from Drake was probably The Calm. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I remember my friend giving me Drake's mixtape and me listening to it and being like, oh, this guy is the shit right here. Today we're talking about his two best projects thus far. Take Care and Nothing Was the Same. These two projects I think so far are Drake's best projects. Now you might be saying, oh, what about Views? Honestly, I'd say Views is Drake's worst project so far. And listening to these two projects, I came to understand what Joe Budden meant by Drake sounds uninspired. Do I think that he's uninspired? No, I just think that Drake sort of took the more popular route. He understood that maybe he just felt for his legacy to be there, he needed to do something that would be more popular for a general audience. That is what I think Drake did with Views. But listening to these albums, these are two phenomenal albums. In my opinion, one is greatly overlooked and the other is sort of synonymous with Drake. And I'm sure you would guess by now, Take Care to me is what people associate with Drake and often don't mention Nothing Was the Same. But let's start first with Take Care. So Take Care was released in 2011. It was Drake's second album following Thank Me Later. A lot of the themes on here, talk about battling with fame, talk about family, talk about relationships. And I think the thing with Drake, and a lot of people seem to be confused as to why Drake is so popular, is that Drake really is relatable. You can listen to a Drake song and picture yourself facing that situation. You can listen to a Drake song to get quotes. Drake is just that individual that is very relatable to. He shares similar experiences or talks about similar experiences that you've had in your life, and he's open about it. He's open about his heartbreaks, and he sort of just lets everything out. And I think that's what a lot of people attach to and admire about Drake. The openness, the relatability, and sort of the emotion that goes into Drake. Take Care does a phenomenal job of relating that emotion. You see very moody music. I think Drake sort of reintroduced singing and rapping in a rap album. A lot of people would say that, Take Care is an R&B album. No, I think it's a rap album that just has songs on it, like more R&B type songs, and that would greatly be influenced by The Weeknd. Speaking of The Weeknd, now recently there's been a lot of controversy, about ghostwriting, about reference tracks, and even people going back a couple of years to when The Weeknd said he had given Drake songs. Now, while I won't delve into that ghost writing whole debacle in this video because it's a very dense topic which you need time to break down, I will talk about The Weeknd. The Weeknd, I think him and Drake were collaborators, definitely. I think Drake saw the huge potential that lay in The Weeknd, and I think he wanted to be a part of that, help Weeknd grow, and at the same time help himself grow. But the influence that The Weeknd had in sort of the sound direction of Take Care cannot be overemphasized. While I won't say it is because of The Weeknd that Take Care is good, I will say that The Weeknd brought a lot to Take Care, from his melodies, from bringing in his producer Ilangelo, and also he himself helping with the production on some songs. The Weeknd's voice just, was very gripping, very nice, and there was a great chemistry between Drake and The Weeknd. And you can tell from the cover itself, Drake is in a sort of, depressive mood, and there's a lot of internal conflicts within himself. He's reflecting on dropping out of school and how, he thought that turning papers won't get him paid, so he dropped out. He talks about a number of things. Talks about, being an underground king, which I think would be one of my favorites on this album. However, something that I don't like on Take Care was the singing from Drake. I don't think Drake at that point had constructed his solo songs very well. Some of the songs on here were just like, I didn't really enjoy them. I didn't really like when Drake was singing on Take Care. I loved it when The Weeknd was singing. Cameras was okay. Cameras is another one of my favorites on this album. But a lot of the time, like on Over My Dead Body or Shot For Me, I didn't really enjoy those songs. They just felt overly depressive, and the singing was just not for me. Moving on to Nothing Was the Same. To me, this album, a lot of people overlook it. And a lot of people would label Take Care as being Drake's best album. Now, I'm not sure if it's because people haven't spent as much time with this album, or if it's because maybe they just didn't understand this album. This album is really good. This album is well balanced. This album shows an infinite amount of progression from Take Care. Not just in Drake himself, but also in 40. And I think 40 doesn't get a lot of credit for his work. 40, I don't think Drake would even be close to where he is now without 40. 40's melodic constructions are just beautiful. And Nothing Was the Same sounds very classical. You have these lovely piano ballads, and at the same time it still keeps its, street essence. It still keeps that hip-hop essence. So I think this is a very well conceived album. I think with the way the beat switches up, with songs like Tuscan Leather, where the beat switches up 3 times, and Drake is very confident on this album. He's talking about being the best. He's talking about how he's the big dog, but they want to little bro him. How he's talking about people wanting him to be humble when he is the biggest shit right now. Drake is very confident on this album. The singing and the melodic construction on here is great. He has features with Jhené Aiko and Sampa. I think Drake's chemistry with Sampa here is better than Drake and The Weeknd. Maybe it's just the songs themselves, the way they're constructed, but I really enjoyed the songs like Too Much and The Motion. The Motion, where Drake talks about, how artists want to use him and keep calling him, and once they get their favors, they're done with him. And I think that's something that has to do with the current situation we're facing with Drake about the whole ghostwriting thing. But like I said, I'm going to restrain myself from talking about that in this video. So Nothing Was the Same. Truly, this album, I think, was well constructed, well balanced. There was a balance in the singing, there was a balance in the rapping, the lyrics were insane on here, and the storytelling was good. Now, I won't say that the subject matter is as deep on this as it was on Take Care. Take Care, Drake discusses a number of things, from his mother to women to school, growing up, fame, everything in between. It's a complete story of Drake. On this, it's sort of, feels like a coronation. It feels like a very braggadocious, I'm it right now, I'm the it guy. It feels very cocky. And it also has these moments where it's more humbled and more reflective. But I would say this, compared to Take Care, I would say the subject matters discussed on Take Care are greater than this. However, the overall song construction and the overall theme of this album is a lot more comprehensive, or is a lot more well coordinated than it is on Take Care. I would take the singing on Nothing Was the Same over the singing on Take Care any day of the week. So coming to the production, I would say the production on Nothing Was the Same blows Take Care out of the water, in all honesty. I would say that 40 had progressed to another level. I would say that he created a work that really stands out when you look at hip-hop albums of this generation. It was very unique, very gripping. It was very immersive and mood setting, You listen to these songs, even before the rapping begins, you get the sense of the song. The way 40 and other producers on this album are able to set the tone and the atmosphere of these songs is phenomenal. Now, maybe it's because of the success of hit singles like Started From the Bottom and Worst Behavior, and songs like Hold On, We're Going Home, which I absolutely hate. I think that's Drake's worst song. I hate Hold On, We're Going On. Shout out to Majid Jordan. They're responsible for that song. They talked about how OVO was sort of in a camping state and everybody was trying to get works done and show to Drake, and Drake really liked the work they had done on Hold On, We're Going Home, so they decided to make the song together. And it also features 1985, who I'm a fan of. He's a part of Division. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Division. When it comes to lyrics and rapping, I would say the wit and the confidence with which Drake delivers his bars on Nothing Was the Same did it for me better than it does on Take Care. I think with Nothing Was the Same in comparison to Take Care has a lot of standout songs to me. Listening to Take Care, I can take bits and pieces here and there and just, you know, get the songs. I loved Buried Alive, I loved Underground Kings, I love Lord Knows, Cameras. You know, you can listen to these songs individually. With Nothing Was the Same, it's a complete story. It's kind of like reading a chapter from a book. Nothing Was the Same was a more complete project to me and was a more all-round project than Take Care. Now, because of the nostalgia value, I think Take Care will always be my favorite album from Drake. I think because, you know, like I said, secondary school, going through the things that you go through, you know, I think I have more of a connection to Take Care than I do to Nothing Was the Same. If I'm to be objective, I would say Nothing Was the Same is a better album. Production is better. Drake is more confident, is not just, you know, this moody guy that's borderline crying. And there's nothing wrong with crying or, you know, talking about it or, you know, being emotional while you're recording. There's nothing wrong with that. But just the way he has a lot more confidence in himself and just the way he delivers these songs, I think Nothing Was the Same was more gripping and more complete and just a better album in its totality. While Take Care to me will always be my favorite, like I said, because of that nostalgia, because of that sentiment that it has to it. Nothing Was the Same is the winner here and is the better album. Both these albums are exceptionally good albums, and I think so far they're Drake's best albums. Right now it seems like Drake is taking the more popular route because, you know, he wants his legacy to last, and you can't exactly blame him for doing that. I think everybody wants to last for a lifetime. Everybody wants to be remembered for a lifetime. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this comparison. I hope you guys, you know, will tell me what your favorite album is and why. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like. If you're new around here, why not click subscribe? My name is Judge Prime. Hope you have a blessed day and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.